I got the good old blow vid, so bear with me in today's video. Not a lot of graphics. It's just going to get straight to the point. There you go. Until I get over this thing, that's how it's going to be. So we're going to go over today's Lions news here is as best as I could possibly do. We're going to get into the stock report. We're going to get into Dan Campbell speaking on the offensive line. Obviously, we're going to talk about the little bit of the Lions and Eagles games. I don't want to get too much into it. I didn't make a video yesterday, obviously, because I wasn't feeling good, but I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times over from everybody. So we'll just go over a little bit, and then we're going to get into great injury news. So let's get this dumb part over with quick. This is how bad the game was. Y'all have already heard this because it's Tuesday. You don't want to rehear this, so I'll give it about 1 minute. The Detroit Lions offensive line was bad. Jared Goff was bad. Going fourth down 5 times was bad. It's a game they got to learn from. You got to learn from this game. Yeah, we lost 6-4. We got to come out and not make the same type of errors in games going forward. Patient. You don't have to go for it on fourth down every time. You learn that the offensive line is not good. Maybe they can switch it up a little bit. But we got beat up, tore up. I don't know what else to say right there. Lions shot themselves in the foot a lot of times. I know a lot of people's going to go over the referee call. Yeah, it was a bad call at the end, but that's not the reason we lost. I'm not even going to argue about it. You should never be in that position. That's the whole point in, to beat the referees, you got to not be in that position. You got to score points, score touchdowns. So let's get to the next one because that's the end of that. I don't want to do this. He's talking about the offensive line failures, stock up, stock down. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a stock down here. Now, I don't know what's going on with St. Brown, but he has been doing a lot of drops as of late. It is a weird thing. I don't understand it. He's got to get his hands together. Rock Ya-Sin's always good. We love Rock Ya-Sin. Tate Ratledge stock down. Not so good in this game. He'll get better as a young player. See, I'm not going to get, when it comes to the rookies, I'm not going to even get upset about, this is what's going to happen for these guys. This is the whole point, right? When you have a young player, they're going to have great games, they're going to have bad games. So I'm not going to rip on Tate Ratledge. Just not going to do it. It's expected. Kayode Eosika. I'm not going to get upset at Kayode Eosika. He's a backup. We know what he is. That's the whole point. We don't have any other guys there. Jack Campbell's is awesome. Just amazing. We have to get help for Aiden Hutchinson. I've talked about that before. Well, let's get into this stuff. I talked about the NFL trade deadline. Lions needed to get linemen, potentially even a pass rusher. Got ripped for it, but now we're seeing the results of that. So this an up-and-coming draft. The Lions need to fix the offensive line. You got to draft a tackle. Got to. Got to fix this offensive line in this draft. We're not going to be able to do a whole lot in free agency because we're cash strapped. You got to draft a pass rusher as well. Lineman, pass rusher. Get some depth there. Losing Frank Ragnow really F this team. And I can't get too upset at Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell on this one. It's kind of unexpected, and it happened after the draft. So, that was a bad situation that spun a lot of bad offensive line play. But we'll see how these guys can come back, right? Mahogany will come back, hopefully. Lions make the playoffs, everything. Dan Campbell believes in the offensive line, but I do not. And there's not a lot that we can do, guys. There's not a lot that Dan Campbell can do. It's just not good. I mean, the talent's just not there. I mean, we can mix scheme up as best as we can do that, and they can do that. And you know, we'll be able to kind of make it look a little bit better than what it is, but the offensive line is cheeks. You need talent. Graham Glasgow's he is the biggest problem. Remember going into the season before Frank Ragnow retired, I said Graham Glasgow is the guy in this offensive line who's the worst and needs to go. Then Ragnow retired, and now he's forced to be here. This is last year in Detroit. Lions will fix the offensive line in the offseason. They'll draft their players. You know Brad Holmes is going to do that. You already know. So I'm not even too worried about it. Lions fallen in the power rankings as expected. And this is why a lot of fans, I want to say this, get pissed off about losing. This is why they get mad. It's power rankings. We got to remove this idea, okay, guys? Power rankings is fake. It's just a fan gloating about other fans, right? Philadelphia Eagles fans are gloating that they beat us. That's kind of what power rankings are. But let's get to what the media thinks. Of course, we're going to fall. Yeah. I'm not going to be upset. 8, yeah, I think that's about right. The offensive line stinks right now. We got issues on the offense. The defense is looking damn good, but I got to keep it back. I think that it can get fixed. I think that the Lions can get this offense squared away by the end of the year. ESPN's got same 8. I'm with them. Athletic 8. I'm with them. Can't get upset at this 10. It's pretty damn close. 7, 10, 8. Yeah, right now. You look in the NFC, there's just a lot of good teams, right? You got Philadelphia Eagles, you got the Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks. Those guys are good. They're good football teams. And right now, I'd have them below them all right now, to be honest with you. San Francisco looked pretty good, even though they got a lot of injuries. They beat up Arizona. The NFC North, I really don't believe in Chicago Bears. I'm still worried more about the Green Bay Packers than the Chicago Bears. Lions, we got some great injury news. Amazing injury news. I didn't think he was going to come back this early. But Lions secondary is going to be pretty damn good Sunday. DJ Reed looks pretty positive here. Going to get him a week of work in here. Rodrigo looking better. So probably Reed and Rodrigo will be the top of that list to come back on Sunday. And Kerby Joseph. Kerby Joseph, I don't know if you ask me right now. I don't know. I see him in this week, but he's getting better. I would say, he says, I don't see him in this week. Perfect. I wouldn't either. Not this game. We got the Giants coming into town. If there's any dinged up players, if you're not at 100%, don't play them. Okay. Kerby Joseph is one of those guys, don't play him. But look, if TJ Reed's healthy, you play it. If they're healthy, you play him. All of them. So we're getting healthy. And Davenport's on his way as well. Joshua Pascal at any time. Starting to get healthy. And we just need the young offensive line right now to gel together. Miles Frazier, he's going to need some practice. Yeah, he just needs to get some practice. That's really it. He's been injured, and maybe he can replace Glasgow at some point. Glasgow, to me, is the biggest problem in this offensive line. It really is. He's just not that good anymore. He's old, and You know, maybe they switch up the offensive line. I don't know. We'll see. Dan Campbell believes in it, but I do not believe in the offensive line. I don't. I think that I mean, it can gel and get a little bit better, but it's a talent deficiency. You need talent. You know, losing Frank Ragnow hurt. And Taylor Decker is not the same, and Glasgow's not good. So if the Lions go into the draft, get a right tackle or a left tackle, just depending. You could move Panay to left if they really wanted to. And if they get a tackle, he doesn't have to play immediately. I don't mean it's the end of Taylor Decker. You could put him at guard if you really wanted to, if they wanted to keep Decker in for another year. Then you'd put Tate Ratledge at center, Mahogany. You do have Miles Frazier in there too that you could put in there, and then the offensive line is kind of redone. That's what you need. So offensive line just needs talent. It's gonna have to wait till the draft. That's when they'll get their talent. So and we'll be doing mock drafts too, relatively soon. It's not because I think the Lions gonna suck. It's just because the draft does come up. You have to start the process. So I'll be looking at a lot of offensive line and a lot of pass rush. A lot of pass rush and safety. Those are the positions I see the Lions attacking. Tight end. I can see it. I definitely attacking tight end. I can't wait to get into the draft. I love it. So give me your thoughts about today's Lions news. Sorry for the lack of graphics and all that stuff. I'm not feeling great. With that said, folks, adios.